Wait, hold on. We're getting closer and closer to a geopolitical world war, and we can't even march in unison on the national stage? Boys, it's left, right, left, right. Why can't you do that in sync as we're getting crazy news right now of major military aircraft on the move right now towards the Middle East, signaling major escalations in the conflict that's happening right now in the Middle East, as we got some bombshell statements being made by Iran alleging that Pakistan would retaliate and actually nuke Israel. Is that actually what's going on here? There's some people that believe that is actually happening here. All of this as the situation isn't looking too good for the Israelis, all of the which, as this conflict is surely quickly going to be continuing for the next few days. The Iranians released some very interesting statements, as there's now rumors and speculations that the Ayatollah himself is finished, and taken out. Is that really what's going on here? We're going to be discussing that and a lot more. And if you appreciate honest news coverage that doesn't brown-nose politicians and actually tells you exactly like it is, very few people sadly do that now. There's a lot of paid shills that are just cheering on and beating the drums of war very viciously. We're not like that. If you support our principled stance, subscribe, click the notification button. As of course, we got a lot of crazy information to get into. I'm having my sources kind of come to me and share information with me. I'm trying to see if I got any kind of updates here. But listen, the movements here are definitely very concerning. It's all over social media. The reports are coming in that major military aircraft are moving, as this is an unprecedented number of U.S. Air Force refueling tankers that have departed the airbase across the United States and are appearing to prepare to cross the Atlantic towards Europe. As of course, this is a sizable force. This is significant. This is signaling that there's probably bigger troubles ahead here. All of this, as of course, we're getting crazy footage coming out from Iran, coming out from Israel, the latest of which is highlighting how a lot of the Israeli interceptors and missile defense systems are just not working. The Iranians are also using kind of advanced ballistic, intercontinental, atmospheric kind of weapon systems here that the United States can't stop. The United States, along with the United Kingdom, are trying to stop a lot of these missiles, and it's not working. The United States sent 20,000 missiles 2 weeks ago to Israel to intercept and stop missiles coming at them. And some of these interceptors are malfunctioning. Some of them are clearly not working. Some of them are. But right now, as you could see here, there are significant missile strikes that are happening in broad daylight that are still ongoing, as there are multiple red alerts all over Israel and also all over Iran as well, as it looks like the Israelis have moved to another kind of form of unconventional forms of war, as there's also reports of people being arrested for documenting some of these airstrikes that are happening in Israel right now, as a lot of the countries involved in this conflict are trying to cover up the true damage of the attacks that are happening there. All of the which, as we're now hearing, that Pakistan allegedly told Iran that if Israel uses a nuclear bomb against Iran, Pakistan will send a nuclear weapon against Israel. You heard that correctly. Here's the translation coming from Iranian national television.
What happened in the past few days? All the Arab countries called and said, we support you. Pakistan said if Israel wants to drop a nuclear bomb, we will drop a nuclear bomb on Israel. The feelings of Muslims in the region will be extremely high. The stronger we act, the more our people will act in solidarity with the armed forces. We will cross this pass. On the other side, there will be an ocean of political, military, economic progress, God willing, in front of our nation.
Now, will Pakistan actually do that? Well, Netanyahu once said after Iran, next is Pakistan. Pakistan is a Muslim Islamic nation, and they do have nuclear weapons. But this was said many years ago, openly, wildly, and let's be honest with ourselves, the Muslim world is pissed off. Saudi Arabia condemned what is happening here, and it's going to be interesting to see the response here overall. But this is what Bibi had to say himself.
Mission that we have is to prevent a militant Islamic regime from meeting up with nuclear weapons or from nuclear weapons meeting up with a militant Islamic regime. The first is called Iran. The second is called Pakistan. Because if these radical regimes have nuclear weapons, they will not obey the rules that have been obeyed in the last almost 7 decades.
Well, Pakistan has nuclear weapons, and that's not really that big of an issue until now, until Israel started to bomb and attack Iran. But before that, Pakistan really wasn't gesturing or threatening or attacking, and this kind of makes you wonder, Pakistan has it. Why can't Iran have it? As some people are kind of contemplating here, but without even contemplating that, without even arguing that, Bibi has been on a full-on propaganda tour, and he has been releasing some major bombshells that are absolutely devious and full of crap. You know what's not full of crap? Our supplements on wearechange.shop. If you haven't checked out our store, it's a really great store. It's a really awesome store. I needed to double my meditations because the situation is just out of control. And I'm seeing this. I've seen this build up for a while. And this is truly a very scary situation. I canceled my travel plans. The situation is not good. So I have started to now take Calm. It's our CBD product, 1,000 milligram full spectrum. It helps me relax. It helped me when I was dealing with anxiety before and panic attacks, and it might help you. I don't know. It depends on you as an individual, but I like to take this stuff. I like to meditate, and it truly does help you. It helps me. It helps me really relax, really try to, let go of the kind of current circumstances that we're under, and it makes me realize, all we have is the current moment right now, and we shouldn't take that for granted, especially with how sociopathic and insane some politicians are that got us into this big old mess. Now, when you're not thinking about sociopaths and people on Epstein client list and doing horrible things that really do truly control our government top down with no way of us ever having a way to democratically express or fight back against them because they control all of the institutions and are some of the most powerful people in the world, as they knowingly and openly just hurt small children and then get away with it. When I'm not thinking about that, I'm calming my mind. I'm meditating. I did double the meditations today. It felt great. Afterwards, I took some CBD, and I was just like chill. And I got out. Most importantly, got away from the cell phone. I was like, I'm not responding to anybody. I'm not. I put the phone down. Had a nice walk. Took out the doggo. She had a nice walk too. Had a nice dinner with a friend. Put the phone down. And relaxed. This stuff helped me out. It might help you. We are change.shop, some of the top quality stuff out there. Now, let's get back into this here. Because, again, as Bibi said here, we cannot allow Pakistan to have nuclear. Pakistan has nuclear weapons. And now they're only threatening to use it if Israel uses theirs. So I think the lesson of what he's saying against Iran here is something to take away, especially with what is happening with Iran. Now, Bibi also came out and said that Iran was behind the 2 assassination attempts against Donald Trump. Lying son of a gun. Yes, because it was the Iranians that made the Secret Service stand out. It was the Iranians that, of course, for minutes on end, just waited along, twiddled their thumbs. It was the Iranians that had multiple security failures. It was the Iranians that sent DEI staff that, of course, failed to protect Donald Trump. It was the Iranians that made that roof so slopey. It was the Iranians that, of course, decided to cover up the scene by power washing it right afterwards. It was the Iranians that played a major role in the cover-up effort of finding out exactly what's going on here. As, of course, the devices are allegedly encrypted, and we still don't know any kind of a legitimate piece of information, even though he was on the phone and had sophisticated knowledge of IEDs as well. Interesting. As Bibi says he knows the answer. The American people don't know the answer, right? All the people within government don't know the answer. But Bibi does. And it was always the Iranians, 100%. It's not just convenient for him to say that. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I mean, clearly, the other guy was tied in more to the Ukrainians. And now somehow the Iranians were involved in all this. This makes no sense at all. As right now, it looks like the Israelis are also moving to another unconventional form of warfare, as we're hearing reports of them now using car bombs inside of Tehran in order to go after some of the powerful government and military officials in that country. As we're also finding out, 2 Mossad agents were also arrested with a ton of explosives and explosive drones on them, as the Iranian police were also seen specifically stopping major trucks all throughout Iran, seeing if they were using the same type of truck sabotage drone trucks that the Ukrainians used a few weeks ago against the Russians to go after them and their military installations. Now, Donald Trump released a statement, and again, it's kind of a bewildering statement. All of Donald Trump's statements here are very complex, are very weird. As Michael Tracy says, none of this makes any sense, except as garbled misdirection to further enable to facilitate Israel's regime change up. As Donald Trump has said specifically, where he wants to make the, quote, Middle East great again. I don't think it's being made great. I think it's being bombed. I think there's a lot of conflict there. Now, it came out earlier that the Israelis were trying to take out the Ayatollah, and allegedly Donald Trump and the government said, no, you can't do that. Now, was that also another misdirection? Was that also a disinformation campaign? As the Israelis and many of their high-ranking government officials are coming out and saying Trump played a major role in making the Iranians believe that they were not going to be attacked. Donald Trump did that with a massive disinformation campaign, pretending to be at odds with Israel. He did this during his Middle Eastern trip. Now, is that exactly what happened here? According to the Israelis and a lot of top government Israelis in the media there, 100% that's exactly what happened here. And a lot of the pro-Zionists out there that are, yeah, 100%. Now we're hearing Trump said no to the assassination of the Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran. But now we're hearing multiple reports that the Ayatollah has been officially taken out, assassinated. Now, is that exactly what's going on here? I don't know. I haven't been able to verify this. We don't know. In war, there's a lot of disinformation. There's a lot of fog of war here. But as Robert Barnes points out here, that the new Iranian leaders, as Donald Trump bragged about, yeah, I've taken out the people I was negotiating with. They didn't die of the coup. Hinting that the Israelis were very successful in taking out a lot of the key leadership of the Iranians. But Robert Barnes says the new Iranian leaders replacing the ones that were, taken out are much more hardline than their predecessors. Who would have guessed? Hint, just the result of every regime change effort in the region for nearly a century. Yeah. As now, the endgame for the Israelis is to create a regime change inside of Iran, creating a huge vacuum of power, creating massive sectarian violence. And it looks like the current plan right now is probably there's going to be a false flag event that will involve the United States. The United States will have to get involved after this false flag. And again, this is what I'm just saying. This is just pretty clear as day. And as soon as that happens, the United States is going to wait until the Iranians launch all of their missiles. Once all of their missiles are launched and they have no way of defending themselves, the Americans come in with the B-2 bunker busters, and this explains why there's such a massive military movement right now from the United States to the Middle East. The United States sends in the B-2 bunker busters and then takes out the Iranian government and the Iranian nuclear facilities. Already, the Israelis are going after significant Iranian infrastructure. They're going after their political leadership. And a lot of people feel betrayed here because a lot of this is being done with the direct support and greenlining from the President of the United States. That was also a part of a disinformation campaign, according to the Israelis, and is saying that the Israelis are doing a, quote, excellent job. Listen, the situation doesn't look too excellent for the Israelis right now, especially now with Pakistan, allegedly, according to the Iranians, saying that they're going to nuke them if, because this is what happened here, from my understanding. The Israelis said, you use your advanced ballistic missiles against us, we're going to nuke you. Okay? You do too much damage, we're going to nuke you. The Iranians were like, hey, Pakistan. Pakistan's like, you nuke them, we'll nuke you back. There goes the kind of problem here. And it would explain why the heavy equipment, because listen, the Iranians, they always sent their cheap drones, like their cheap, really crappy drones up. And they were always shot down. There's still a bunch of drones that are being shot down. But the Iranians never had the goal to respond. The Iranians had their general killed. The Iranians had their consulate and embassy bombed in Syria by the Israelis. The Israelis were conducting a lot of covert operations and attacks against them. And there was multiple small skirmishes that happened between the Israelis and the Iranians for multiple years. The Iranians have always kind of shown restraint here because a lot of people didn't believe that they could actually hit Israel. They are hitting Israel. And it looks like the Pakistanis probably made an impact on them by saying, we got your back. And we'll send this message out. And this threat of nukes that are happening behind the scenes, behind closed doors, we'll make that irrelevant because it's going to be mutually assured destruction if that happens. Now, this is what Donald Trump promised us.
We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into.
Yeah, it's fair to argue the United States is already involved in this war. We not only gave Israel the weapons, we not only gave them the intel, we're also defending them. And now major military movement is underway, which of course will probably conclude with the B-2 bunker busters and the continued attacks, the continued disinformation, the continued lies, the continued events that will unfold from here. That probably will also result in a false flag or a domestic terror attack that will affect American citizens. Now, energy prices are going to go up here. MTG, I think, really hit the point home here as Owen Schroyer said, listen to what President Trump said during his inauguration about getting involved in another war. There's a lot of people are saying, look what's going to be happening next. MTG had something great to say here. She says, everyone is finding out who are real America first, MAGA, and who were fake and just said it because it was popular. Unfortunately, the list of fakes are becoming quite long and expose themselves quickly. She's talking about all the pro-war voices. There's a lot of female MAGA influencers that are paid off shills that are now promoting this war very heavily. She says anyone slobbering for the U.S. to become fully involved in the Israeli-Iran war is not America first, it's not MAGA. Wishing for the life to be taken of innocent people is disgusting. We are sick and tired of foreign wars, all of them, and this one will quickly engulf the Middle East, BRICS, and NATO as countries are required to take a side. Real America first, MAGA, wants world peace for all people and doesn't want our military taken out and forever injured physically and mentally. We love our U.S. military and love them hoping to secure our borders and our cities and for the defense of our people and our country. They are our friends, spouses, cousins, nieces, nephews, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters. We have spent trillions in the Middle East, and we have dealt with the aftermath of death, blown apart bodies, never-ending, people taking their own existences, and disabling PTSD, all because they told us propaganda as to why we must sacrifice our own to defend some other country's border and some other country's borders. I don't want to see Israel bombed or Iran bombed or Gaza bombed. I don't want to see Ukraine bombed or Russia bombed. And we do not want to be involved or require to pay for any of this. We are $36 trillion in debt and have mountains of our own problems. We have giant planks sticking out of our own eyes while we complain about splinters in others' eyes. Every country involved and all over the world can be happy, successful, and rich if we all work together and seek peace and prosperity. Taking this position is not anti-Semitic. It's rational, sane, and loving towards all people. Taking this position of peace and prosperity for all is not isolationism. It leads to great trade deals and great economies that help all people. It's what America voted for in 2024. America first, America first, America first. This is how we make America great again. Hallelujah. Amen. If you agree with that, share this video. And I couldn't agree more. Truly, there are a lot of despots, dictators, and really horrible people out there. But I think the one lesson that we could all kind of conclude to, wherever you think is responsible or whatever you think is really going on here, is that accountability isn't hate. Silence isn't patriotism. And right now, during this key moment in time, we need to speak out more than ever that we are not okay with the foreign policy decisions of our leadership that is projecting us towards this global war that they greenlit. It's not okay. It needs to end now. If you agree, share this video. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange. Take some calm. We're going to need it. It's only going to get crazier from here.